Hey, I got a couple of tips for you guys to find cheap property for your tiny home. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host Jerry Hansen. I was down at Lowe's the other day, and I'm kind of in the market looking for a pattern to build a small tiny home or a little cottage on a tree house platform I'm building on the mountains up behind my house. I own over the top of that mountain, and I do want to put a retreat up there. I've been salvaging and collecting items that will go specifically for the tree house. So I came across this little shed. It's called the studio. They didn't have a price tag on it, but it sure gives me an idea on how big to build this structure. Here's a little bit what I found out about it. So this unit I'm standing in right now is it's 10 by 16. Spacious enough. One room, small house. You could knock out a add-on and put a 5 by 8 or a 5 by 10 room to accommodate a full bathroom. So this is it's 2 by 4 construction. So it's perfect for a tiny house. And it's got 2 by 6 for extra insulation in the rafters. Not much as far as loft space goes, but you just got one front of just windows, and you can make a nice little tiny cabin here. So now I'm getting closer to coming up with more of an idea with a tiny house up on my mountain. Now for some hints and tips on finding cheap land. I just went on the internet today, and I'm finding cheap land all over the place, especially in my area, and then there's other places around the country. We're talking Arkansas, Oklahoma. There's places everywhere. But give you guys some hints and tips on trying to finding cheap property. Here's a parcel I found for $99 a month. It's a couple of acres. It's in the country. But hey, this tiny home on a cheap piece of property, you can't go wrong. You guys can't go wrong. You got to check with the codes that you got of the locality and wherever you're putting certain sizes of buildings. You may look at it as a temporary structure while you're building your other house, or you may do like me. I purchased this used double wide manufactured home for $10,000. That cost me about $5,000 to get it moved up here, get it put together. But it's home, $15,000 for a home. Yeah, it's a beautiful home at that. So that's a way to save some money. And another way to get around and finding cheap, inexpensive roof over your head. Yeah, oftentimes I'm finding cheap or free RVs giving away on Craigslist, so check out those resources. Also on Facebook Marketplace, like this RV, which I got for free. Well, that's it on what I discovered on this tiny house concept that I can use on my tree house, and also a tip on how to find and secure cheap land. There's land everywhere. You just have to look for it, go on the internet, and just Google keywords. Cheap houses, cheap land. Also, a key word to look at to purchase properties like I purchased my property for cheap from the county auction. Type in your search engine over-the-counter sales. Yes, that's a key word. Type in that and you can find cheap property also. And then of course my tip on finding and buying a cheap house. I bought this from an acquaintance of mine that wanted to get rid of it, so I took it off their hands. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for sharing our adventures with us. And stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing and then clicking that bell icon. That'll let you to new videos as I upload them. Hey, I have some links down below on other videos I've done on finding cheap property, the entire how-to. Check out all those video links down below in the description. Best of luck, my friends. Be safe, be kind. We'll see you guys in the next adventure. Bye-bye now.